Hi, I'm Josanne Wright Callender, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck Picture Book and Educational System. We have been talking about structuring great strategies for school. We've talked about enthusiasm, how to build encouragement, goal setting, hope builds goal setting skills. And so now I thought we'd talk about some of the nuts and bolts of how we can incorporate all of these wonderful foundational skills to help a child actually do a better job in school and in life. So, yesterday we talked about just having a quiet environment, and that in itself is something that we can do a whole series on because it has a lot to do with knowing what environment your child works best in. And in the virtual world, I spoke about how several students try to find better environments for themselves. And actually, in the basic part of this talk is empowering our children to make better choices. And so it was really fantastic for me to see that they had found solutions for their home environment, um, the noise, the background noises, for them to find ways of getting around, to find different places they could study in and do a better job. It, that's part of what we do as teachers is to build those self-help skills. And I think a part of this that I like so much is that it's helping children to use their minds to look at problems, potential problems, find solutions. So you're actually building a critical thinking skill at the same time. So this next part is on focus. And this may take a couple of talks because, they're just this has been one of my well, one of the challenges that I had in the classroom, and you could imagine in the virtual world, this would also be a challenge for certain children who have like diverse interests, I'll say, because I tend to be that way too. And I can identify a child who's got like a couple of things going on in the classroom, but at home, there are all the toys and activities that are going on around them, so that can diffuse the focus of any child. They're children, they love to play, they love to be with people that they love, and at home, they're surrounded by loving individuals. We hope and pray, and this is something that, with the focus of a child on somebody on the screen is a little bit harder to pick up on, because there are people who are in the real world who are actually like, okay, for the one example, I thought about the child who had his siblings around him and they knew that he was in a one-on-one, a pull-out classroom, whereas sometimes students, they take their camera off. Well, I told him that I needed to hear his answers, and so he had to have his camera on. And so all of a sudden, there descended upon him 2 individuals who were tickling him, and he was trying his best still to focus and, deflect this attack. So I said, "Can you find some place where your siblings and your cousin aren't?" And that's when he started looking for a quiet environment. But the focus quotient is really huge. And I really believe that if we can work on focus in the virtual world, that also will translate into the real world once they come back to the classroom. I had this one class that would always be distracted. Someone would come to the door of the classroom and everybody would turn around to see who it was. And I, lose a couple of minutes of instruction. So I came up with an idea. So this is my first tip and focus. I said, we're gonna do is play a game, and children love games. So I said, this is called the focus game. So whenever someone comes in the room, you can't turn around and look. I know it's gonna be tempting. It's tempting for me to look too to see who it is, but I'm going to wait till they come and they address me because sometimes people make a mistake. They didn't come to the room, your room on purpose, and they're not in this classroom. So let's just all focus on the lesson. And after that visitor leaves, they may ask me some questions and I'll have to address them. But one thing I thought would be a great gift is to have a little treat. If you're now, I don't know, my internet is unstable. Okay, so it's come back. So I said that if you are able to focus on me, I'm going to have a little treat available for everyone who does a great job. It might be I'll read a special book or I'll play one of our fun songs. It didn't have to be anything edible, but they were really in on the game. And I said, if you did turn around, your friends will have to remind you that you're not supposed to turn around. And so they were kind of like helping each other. Look, don't turn around. It was so funny. But I couldn't laugh. But they were so sweet because they were really, really trying to focus. And it actually did work. I had one principal after a couple of weeks of trying this game said, your students are so amazing. They just keep watching you while you're teaching and they're not distracted. So, I mean, we could try different things to motivate our students and our children to keep them focused. So, tomorrow I'll talk about a couple of other ideas that I had. Until then, thank you for viewing. Please share, please subscribe. Okay, bye bye.